No? Pag tinignan ninyo yung timbang, no? One could be 350 grams, the other one is also 350 grams. Yun yung dalawa. So you have two pieces. No? Nakikita mo. At saka maraming slices yon. Now you look at the gardenia bread, that's 600 grams. Yung isa is dalawang 350, 700 grams. Ito, it is 600 grams. So isang loaf lang. Kahit na anong sabihin mo sa kaisipan mo, mas marami ka pa rin nakukuha kasi dalawa yung nakikita mo ron eh. No? So yun yung perception sa psychology. You get more with that. But it's the same thing. It's not different from the question, which is heavier? 1 kilo of iron or 1 kilo of cotton? Pag nakikita mo, parang ang laki ng cotton, di ba? Ganon ang nangyayari. So what happens when it's lighter? It's got more air. Pinaalsa siya, ano yan eh, what we call the proofing, no? Yung proof, sa amin, with machine proof, no? The product enters a machine, there's a second floor above the oven. It's a very big panel, you will see it later on. The bread goes in there and then goes there exact in time na proofing. Every chamber may iba-ibang temperature, iba-ibang humidity levels. Para tama yung pag-alsa ng bread, hindi siya aalsa na sobra kasi pag sumobra siya ng alsa, didikit siya sa lid yung cover. Pag dumikit siya sa lid, masisira yung tinapay. So dapat eksakto lang yung pag-alsa niya. Sila, ginagawa, manual yan. Iniiwan lang yan on open air. Yung bread, nakalagay na sa baking pan, iiwanan siya doon for 2 hours. Naka-expose siya in open air, no? Inside the building, no? And then so expose siya to bacteria and other elements. Pero nung maalsa siya ng todo, yung pag-alsa niya puro hangin ngayon. So the moisture escapes, so nagiging dry ngayon yung bread. So you may have 2 loaves of bread, for one is free, pero mauubos mo pa yung 2 loaves na yon. Chances are yung second loaf titigas na, hindi mo na siya ma-appreciate, hindi mo siya kakainin. So you end up actually consuming not 600 grams. If you bought a fresh gardenia bread, you actually end up with your 700 grams consuming only maybe 450 to 500 grams. Kasi the rest, itatapon mo na. Kasi masyadong dry na. Especially the ends. Hindi mo na siya ma-enjoy. That's the problem with light bread. Light bread is good if you consume it right away. It's very enjoyable kasi malabot. We Filipinos like it soft. No? Like ensimada. Kaya mabiling ensimada, puro hangin yun eh. No, pag pinisa mo yung ensimada, talagang ganun kanipis yun eh. No, pero pag kinakain mo, laki-laki, no? Ganun. Pero ano siya, masarap siya pag bagong-bago. Meaning a few hours old only from the time it is baked. But not more than 24 hours. So yun yung situation. So if it's lighter, it is expected to be softer. But you have to consume it right away. Now, if it's heavier, like yung mga European breads, ang bibigat na, lalo yung German bread, ang bigat talaga, pag binato mo, parang bubukol. No? Actually yun, mas nakakabusog naman yun. Ibang purpose na. That's why yung mga parang monay, or yung mga maliliit na monay, or yung tawag nilang putok, no? Matigas yun, siksik, nakakabusog yun. Pero pagkabago siya, masarap siya. Pero pag tumatagal, okay pa rin siya, pero nagiging gray, para bang powdery yung texture niya, nagda-dry. So the key there is, how is the bread proofed? How was it baked? Anong temperatures na na-seal in yung freshness niya sa loob? And then how is it packed? That will keep the product fresh. On the other question on freshness, yung expiry date, that's a Filipino culture. In fact, I teach in the academe, and this is something you have to understand the Filipino culture, the habits of your consumers. Tayo, when we buy bread, we look at the expiry date. No? That is actually wrong. But you cannot tell the consumer he is wrong. No? Sabi mo, all your life you look at it, always expiry date. Pero ano ba hinahanap mo sa bread? Alin ang bago? Di ba? Pati hinahanap mo kung alin ang bago, pero titignan mo kailan siya mag-expire. Parang baliktad. Kasi wala kayong information when the bread was baked. You assume it was baked today and that it will last for a longer time. No? Actually, there are breads that can even last you for 45 days. No? Because of proper packaging, pinapasukan nila ng nitrogen gas yung packaging, so the bread can last you for 45 days. Kaya if you go to the imported bread sections of some of the supermarkets, there are breads there that came from the United States. So that took 1 month traveling time here. No? And then when you receive it, Hindi pa siya expired. Mukhang kala mo fresh pa. Parang sabi nga namin what is a fresh plastic flower? No? Plastic, fresh, hindi pwede. What is a fresh bread? Some breads claim to have 10-day shelf life or 14-day shelf life. They add a lot of preservatives. Most breads have a shelf life of only 7 days. Our breads, if you see it, it will show you a 6-day shelf life remaining on the packaging. No? On the 6 days before you reach the best before date. No, so that total 7 days. Now, if you buy a bread that has a 10-day shelf life, you will think that it is fresher. But actually, it is 3-4 days old already sa display. So what Gardenia did is we developed the G-Lock. It's actually called the Quick Lock. It's not ours. Commercially, it's called Quick Lock. We just call it a G-Lock because we print a letter G on it. No? To be sure that that is our lock. At the same time, it has the best before date, the price, and there's a code. The code that is in there, it tells us who were the people who were in the factory when they produced the bread, what were the temperatures, what were the ingredients, which machines, which line. That small number code will tell us everything about that particular product, what time it was produced, what time it went to dispatch, where was it supposed to be shipped. So if, for example, we see a G-Lock in SM Mall of Asia, and then may nagsoli sa amin, sabi niya matigas yung bread niya, nabili niya sa, let's say, sa Caloocan, we know na mali yun because we can track where the bread was supposed to be with that code on the lock. For the consumer, that lock tells you when the bread was baked. So for example, for Monday, we have the color tan. Now for today's Sunday, we have the color white. White color code siya. Yun yung day the bread was baked. No? We can give you the colors later on. No? It's tan, orange, yellow, blue, green, red, white. We call it toy BGR plus white. No? But that's toy, no? Tan, orange, yellow, blue, green, red, and white. Those are the 7 colors. Yun ang day the bread was baked.
Okay.
So alam ng consumer, fresh yung bread niya. Now, hindi mamememorya ng consumer yung colors na yun. So what we do, we make sure lang that every time we deliver bread, whatever bread was unsold the day before, we pull this all out. Pinapalitan lahat namin yan ng fresh breads. Unlike our competitors, they keep the bread for 5 to 7 days hanggang mag-expire sa tindahan. Kami hindi. Kailangan maximum lang yan 2 days. We pull it out right away. We deliver it today, the next day, we go deliver again. Whatever was unsold, we pull back.
What do you do with the...
We convert it to fish meal. Pagkain yan ng... there are contractors here who get everything that we return, and then they dry this under the sun so that they can use this in commercial fish ponds. Kasi kailangan lulutang yan sa commercial fish pond.
Okay.
So they make the bread dry under the sun, and then they throw it in small pieces sa commercial fish pond, and that becomes the feed for bangus, tilapia.
Okay.
Kaya kung may nakita kayong bangus na tilapia, tatak, gardenia inside.
Kasi we thought, kasi iba yung ibang feeds talaga na.
Kasi kapag bumibili kami ng gardenia,